So the best way to do this, you see the rubber pads here, set it flat on a countertop or cutting board. Set your knife in straight up and down. You want to make sure that it remains perpendicular. I always recommend that you hold the knife like this, not like this, not like this, but make sure your thumb and forefinger are locked in place around the handle. That'll help you make sure that you keep the knife straight up and down as you pull it through. So you want to start at the back of the knife, give it a little bit of pressure, and just pull it straight through. If the knife is dull, you'll see little pieces of metal coming off right here. Because what this does is these carbide teeth right here actually regrind the edge back to its original factory angle. So you set the knife in, pull it straight through, and lift the handle as you come through so the knife stays with, or so the sharpener stays with the curve of the knife. So to do a smaller knife, a lot of times you have to use a little bit more pressure when you pull it through. Notice again how I start at the back, I hold it properly, start at the back, give it a little bit of pressure, and pull it up with the curve of the blade as I come through. You'll know you're done when you don't see any more shards of metal coming off right there. So we have two different types of sharpeners that are out there. They both look just like this sharpener right here. They just have different files inside. One has ceramic files, little discs basically. That sharpener is made as a honing tool. Honing is a process that's made to keep the knives sharp. So once the knives have gotten really dull, that tool is not actually going to work as good for sharpening as our newest design will work. Our newest design actually has carbide teeth in the middle, and those carbide teeth are actually made to regrind a dull edge back to its original factory sharpness. So to tell the difference between our two sharpeners that we've made, the one that has the little discs inside of it also, this little brown part right here will switch so that you can use it left or right-handed. It'll rotate. It also has a little arrow right here that tells you which direction to pull the knives through. The new sharpener doesn't actually twist at all, and you can pull the knives through either way just the same. If you don't have a sharpener at all, you should have at least one. Whether it's the old design that we make that's made as a honing tool to actually maintain a sharp edge and keep your knife sharp, or it's the new design which is made to actually take a Cutco smooth edge that is completely dull and regrind it to a factory sharpness. Either one is valuable. Some people actually do have both because they're made for two different things, and there's nothing wrong with that either. All of our sharpeners are made with the Cutco Forever Guarantee. So if you ever get to a point where you've completely worn it out because you've been using it, you can always send them back and have them replaced for free.
By the way, we do use these sharpeners at home to keep ours touch up as well, which I love. I can always tell when Josh has been in the kitchen sharpening my knives because they work a lot better. But why don't you share with them just a few tips on keeping their knives sharp in general, outside of actually sharpening them? Like
between sharpenings, yeah. So there's a couple different things that you can do that are just general tips for keeping your knives sharp. Use the proper knife for the proper job. You know, some people, a paring knife, for example, is the most overused knife in the set. People cut on the cutting boards, they cut in the air, they try to pry apart frozen stuff and different things like that. So that's going to wear your knife out a lot faster if you're not using it for the proper job. So make sure that you view our other videos on the proper uses for different knives that we've made for you. Also, when you're using the proper tool for the proper job, the food is not actually what will dull your knives. It's more about the surface that you cut on. The harder the surface, the faster it's going to dull your knives. So you want to avoid using surfaces like glass, granite, or corian. You also want to avoid using surfaces like hard plastics, which are the clear acrylic plastics, or hard woods. So the harder the surface, faster it dulls your knives. And remember that proper storage will also help your knives stay sharper longer. You want to avoid throwing the knives into a drawer where they'll bang around and rattle against each other and other things that are in your drawer. And go instead with a surface like a wood block, like what Amy and I have on our countertop, or get one of the Cutco storage trays, which can be hung on the wall or placed into a drawer, but it protects the blades. And finally, another type of storage that most people don't think about is your dishwasher. When you put your knives in the dishwasher, you want to make sure that you do it in a way where the knives are not in a big pile, and they're not going to rattle around and bang into each other, because that can cause your edges to chip. Instead, try laying them across the top racks of the dishwashers and then setting your dishes over top of them so that they're held in place. When you combine using the right tool for the right job with proper storage, using your straight edge sharpener once in a while, and putting the knives in the dishwasher the proper way, and using the proper cutting surfaces, you'll find that your knives should stay sharp for years. So when you do need a professional touch-up for both your smooth edges and your double D edges, which should be every 4 to 5 years with all these, when you follow all these tips, I can either come to your home and do it for you right in your kitchen with our free service call, or you can always package up the knives and send them back to our factory to have them reground on the factory machines like brand new.